G'day, I'm BLXhead and welcome to a brand new LP of UFO Afterlight. There's been quite a bit of Xcom 2 hype lately, and I thought I would fire up one of the old Xcom clones and see how it goes. This is the third one in the series and is always been one of my favourites of the UFO series. It's also the first one I played, so that may have something to do with it. We're going to be doing a normal game, and let's give it a name. It's an original name, and we're going to dive right in. I'll try and be quiet for some of the cutscenes that come up later on, but for the most part I will just be narrating over things. So we start off in essentially the tutorial. I have disabled most of the tutorial, but for some reason it never seems to stop the little pop-ups that come up. She's a bit slow, so let's start walking quicker. So the premise here is that they are on Mars, and I'll go into the story later on in the game, but this particular situation right now, Gene and another guy up here, Jurgen, if I can find him, there he is, we're out excavating and they found this, looks like a base sort of a thing, some strange structure underground, and he appears to have been killed by something, so we're going to go investigate and find out.
Target identified.
Thank you, Gene.
What's next, sir?
Okay, that appears to be a big mech robot thingy, so let's quickly pick up this scientific laser he was using and try and defend ourselves.
For orders.
Equip it and start shooting.
Engaging.
So the game is pausable real time, so she now has some actions queued up. If I unpause the game, she will, yep, thank you very much, she will equip that laser and then she will start shooting, and you can see the timer moving across for her turn. And that mech was basically dead already. Looks like Jurgen nearly killed it before it managed to knock him down and kill him. So he's gone. So what we need to do though is head up in this direction.
On my way. I'm afraid I can't do that. Relocating.
It's interesting sometimes the way that...
I'll do my best.
There we go, queued up properly. And now that door's going to be opened at some point in the future. What I can actually do
on my way
is queue up, and she'll be walking right through that door. Which is an interesting way of doing it. I do quite enjoy the way things move here. I don't enjoy that camera is moving completely by itself when it's on auto, but if I put it to the other alternative, the way it rotates, it won't rotate around a central point, which annoys me, and I prefer the central point, so I will have to put up with the automatic moving. And it looks like we have found Diego, another one of the colonists.
Your orders?
Let's try and get ourselves out of here. Met up and evacuate the site back to our UFO. We actually have a UFO ourselves, is how we travel around. Now, there may be an enemy up here somewhere, so we need to...
Ready? No way, sir.
Oops.
Right.
So we need to be careful.
Enemy somewhere here.
Oh, wow, look at that. So this question mark, they can actually hear the enemy. There are different modes of detection in this game, but they can actually hear this particular enemy.
What's next?
And it appears to be a different kind of a robot, a crawling drone.
Kick ass.
So you start shooting,
what's next, sir?
and you join him. So the red is temporary damage, which can be repaired, and these robots will repair themselves automatically. And the black in that bar is permanent damage, and the green is remaining damage. If there's only permanent left, then someone will collapse. My character's included. You can see here she has some grey, which is stun damage.
Nailed him.
Your orders?
So an enemy can, or a person can collapse without necessarily dying, but they will be out of action. And stun damage recovers gradually.
What to do?
But I may go into those in more depth later.
Our archaeologists have been attacked by some mechanical drones on the excavation site at Cydonia. Seems like the ancient Martians have not left their dwellings unprotected.
We will have to learn how to use weapons, and a few of us will have to become soldiers, so we can accompany the scientists. Fortunately, the Reticulans gave us their laser weapons. Unfortunately, the batteries for them are scarce as hell. Can we produce some more?
I'm afraid we are not familiar with this technology.
In that case, we can postpone our research of Mars terraformation and concentrate on laser technologies. On the other hand, it might be easier to browse the database brought from Earth and start production of projectile firearms.
Some of the oldest settlers still keep their guns from mutant wars on Earth. They will surely lend them to our scientists for study.
As soon as we get the blueprints, we'll create a production line and start weapons production.
Okay, we've met a couple of our major protagonist people, and let's actually go have a look at some of them right now. So these are all our people, and the little numbers represent their...
Training programs are available.
Thank you, Inge. They represent their levels in various job classes. There are 3 job classes: the white job class, the green one, and the red one. And a couple of people are multi-talented, as you can see in the center here. Now in the end. The white job class are soldier classes. These are the only people who can go out on battles. You'll notice that all of our core people, we met this guy here. Fernando Ramirez is our research director, our production lady, and our commander-in-chief, and they all have their own different jobs. These people that are non-soldiers are all, I guess, critical to the story of the game, which is why they don't go out. If they died, it would, well, it would make sense to have them pop up and keep talking later. So what I'm going to do to begin with is a little bit of juggling around. It's going to be a sort of a suboptimal start in order to try and get everything sorted. What I need to do, there is a technical skill here called minor driving, and characters with those, these scientific bays and technical bays, will send out rovers. Now I need to find a dual skilled person. First of all, I'll start with you. You can train in minor driving, and you can go in the technical bay. The scientific bay can only accept scientists, and that is not a science skill. So I need to find one of these dual people. So I'm going to pick our commander-in-chief, and we're going to train him in minor driving, except that his level is too low. Every level you get 1 point. So you get about 20, maybe 25 levels in the game. So there's 3 levels, 2 levels there, etc. And you use up the points. So I get about 25 points total in the game. So I need him to gain 1 technical level. And to do that, I'm going to put him alone in the workshop. You can go in the lab to help make up the difference while we're out. And I'm going to start producing... hang on, let's do some TNT.
There is no production running. If we
Dynamite will be
achieve
used.
victory,
Thank you, Jacqueline. Just click on them to shut them up, otherwise they will keep talking. And a couple of those. Now he won't finish all of these before he levels up, but that's fine. I'll just move the others in once he's ready to start training. In the meantime, we're going to want some research. Now, there's no real time that they take. I don't know exactly... Thank you. I don't know exactly how long each of these will take, but you get a rough idea of how difficult it is. And I think there are some random modifiers thrown in that may extend or shorten the time. And the more difficult it is, I believe, the more likely an extension will come in. But he'll give us updates as we go along. Now to start with, I think we're going to want firearms. That'll allow us to create guns. And I won't bother about queuing anything else up just yet, because I'll see what that unlocks. In terms of squads, I'm going to use my knowledge of the game and remove him from it. Thank you. Because he at some point will retire. His daughter will step in and she's very, very good, but if he dies, she is not as good and she will come in earlier. In the meantime though, I would like to... I will just leave that squad as 3 for now. Hello, let's go in and get them equipped. She's equipped. She's a very, very old lady who is from the previous stories. Possibly, they were random characters back then, but her stories, she has survived the mutant wars earlier. And she has brought some of her guns with her, so we have some limited ammo. We can't produce this stuff, so we need to keep ourselves going. Actually, I think I will equip you with that. This one. Here you go, and Samantha, you can have... that's all I've got. Okay, reticulin laser pistol. And these we can't produce either. These are alien technology. We may meet these people later on. For now though, I think it's probably time to start moving on. This is our base, we can build stuff to it later, and we can build stuff inside these domes as required. But for now, let's have a look at the world map, and this is an absolutely beautiful map. It's based on, it doesn't look so good zoomed in, but it's based off satellite data from NASA, and they have done a pretty good job with it, and it will actually, it's got topographical data as well, so this is on the dark side at the moment, but this here, this big valley here is actually lower down, and it recognises the height of each area, and that will become important later on in the game. But for now, let's have a look what we're going to do. Let's send out our construction teams to start doing this, and inside our territory we have a fuel mine I'd like to grab. So our science teams will go down here and begin to expand our territory by claiming it, and our construction team will head out and grab the fuel mine up here. And it is important to get these guys sped up, because at some point they're going to have to be going all the way around the planet if we get big enough. Build a chemical mine, and the way resources work in this is quite different.
We have been approached with a diplomatic proposal.
It's interesting. They're offering one level of metal. That ties in well with resources I was just talking about. I'll go on to that once I can bring up the menu. 2 lasers and an alliance. I will accept that because I don't want to fight them. They will murder me right now. So let's have a look at... Here we go. So our level of... And the level's the important part. Thank you, Neil. The level is important. So an item... These don't have prerequisites. Nothing has prerequisites yet. Later on they will. They will say they need, say, 4 metal or 10 metal or, you know, energy, which we can... Thank you. Etc, etc. So what we do here is, our level here is 11033. And these individual ones add up. So once you get one piece of fuel, or one piece of anything, you get 1 level. The next level up requires 3 bits of fuel. And then I think it's 5 or 7, and it gets harder and harder to actually get higher levels. So we're not stockpiling anything. We have a sort of a flat production, our total amount we can produce at any one time. And you do get more advanced levels.
On exploring our new territory in the south, we ran into the reticulans that brought us here and assisted us in founding our Mars colony.
You're going to translate that for us?
They suggest cooperation. They offer their weapons and scientific support.
And what do they ask for in exchange?
I bet that our enemies are hot on their heels as well.
They even offer to send some of their, well, men, if we need them. They have serious problems with attacking robots and are asking for our help.
Well, I've already accepted that. I knew what to do. So while we're here, it looks like William Schruten has leveled up. So let's get him training. It'll take, I assume that's 3 days. Although I think days are slightly, 25 hours for a day on Mars. So that's 3 Earth days. So now we have nobody in our workshop. Let's move our 2 other people back in, and everyone looks like they're ready. So we'll continue on.
A new station has been built on the planet.
We have occupied new territory.
A new station has been built on the planet.
Fuel mine as well. Ooh, there we go. We have firearms that are available. We also have been given reticulan technologies. That alliance with
some of the scientists
with the reticulans has given us a database that we can browse through. So this won't unlock anything directly, but it will make new technologies available. However, I think survival methods and medicine will be important. So what we've got now...
Resources has been increased.
Thank you, Neil. what we have here is, if I click on this, we can see a hostility level. So we can't breathe on Mars at all. So we have spacesuits. And now our quality of spacesuit protects us from radiation, protects us from the cold, and gives us air and whatnot. So at the moment we're in a fairly mild sort of an area. Over here is more dangerous, and by night it's much higher because it's much colder. So we're in like the Martian winter at the moment. As we get towards the Martian summer, as the seasons go on, and it'll be very gradual, but these will start to get much higher. And actually by night will end up being a better option, because by daytime shoots up there, you've got the hard radiation coming down on top of you. Oh, and there's our new allies, the Reticulans, down the south in the East Mariner Valley. Interesting. So what we're going to need, the survival methods will allow us to begin going down, getting new, what's the word, spacesuits later on, more heavy duty ones. So we have here 2 new aliens who've joined us. One who's a pure soldier is Tabby, Tabich Kafalavalam, I can't pronounce their weird language, and Oogie, or Ogie, is also a soldier but also a scientist as well. And that, well, is not particularly useful at the moment, but they have some additional, I suppose, skills, and they can work in different ways. Mind probe, for example, helps with interrogation later on, and so on and so forth. And unfortunately I've got no military yet, but they will, when I get a certain training type, they will unlock more. Anyway,
we made a new attempt to contact the Council of the Earth, as we ceased communication after our previous, well, misunderstanding. Anyway, the Laputa communication facility appears to be not functional, as we have not received any response. The emergency plan for this situation requires us to build a standby communication satellite.
It takes but a few days to build such a device. We just need to check a couple of technical details.
No trouble for my staff. Everything should be in the records brought from the Earth.
Oh, the terrible voice acting. It's beautiful, I love it. So we have now communication with the Earth.
Some of the scientists are...
I wonder if I can turn that off permanently. I'll look at that between episodes. But, so we've got a couple of different directions we can go now, and we're starting to branch out where we can follow. Communication with the Earth is essentially we've had an emergency and we need to contact Earth, but they have not been responding to us, so we need to build a larger, more powerful transceiver and receiver. So let's start looking into that.
We have discovered and explored new territory.
Something or somebody damaged the pipes, bringing water from the North Pole. I'm afraid that our reserves will not last for more than 3 days. We must repair them, or we are all going to die.
May it have a bearing on the latest events in some way?
We have discovered no seismic activity, meteor fall, or anything that might cause damage this large. Nothing like this has happened till now. Therefore, we are definitely bound to assume some relationship.
In this case, I suggest sending UFO and armored crew to the place. We can't risk losing our technical team or their vehicles. From now on, this planet seems not to be as safe as it used to be.
Somebody from the technical staff should come with the UFO to mend everything, at least a bit.
Our water supply has been suspended.
3 days?
Input of resources
Oh
has
no.
been decreased.
This actually can be game ending. If I don't deal with this mission, they will die within, I think it's 4 or 5 days. It goes a bit longer. But they'll all be dead. And that'll be the end of the game. So, let's equip ourselves with a squad. I would like to stick...
Some people may have...
Thank you, Inge. I would like to put... I want a technical team person to go with us to get bonus experience. Unfortunately, they're all out and about. So what I may do is clear everything and send them back home. There we go. So let's get... I'm thinking Bennett Harradays. If we have a look at his history as well, he has an old friendship with Ute Herman. Whether that makes a difference or not in the game, I don't think. I think if one of them dies, the other one may go berserk in battle. So it gives them a bunch of buffs temporarily. So something to be careful of. But I think I will put you up in our military. How's our training for our other people going? 99%, so you'll be able to go out very shortly. And you are 60%, so you're getting there. So let's have a look at our squads now. Let's put Benat.
You must give some equipment to the team.
Thank you. And I'm actually going to want... what I'll do is I'll take... This guy is the only one with medical training, so he can use medkits. So I may actually take him out and put him up here as well, and I'll throw... Scientific Bay. How about I throw one of you people in? Actually, no, I'm going to be putting that guy in shortly.
Some people may have more than...
So that's fine. Okay, we have ourselves all set up. Let's put you in. You can be our medic. You can be our mine disabler if we ever encounter any mines. And they're equipped with suits. We may as well, while we're here, throw... it doesn't matter. There's too many people to look after at the moment. We're not going to need much more. But let's go and equip them. You've got those. Short range. I would like... There we go. We have a whole bunch of new rifles brought in. And some more ammo as well, which is good. Now this will run out, so we do need 20 shots, and we've got 23 cartridges of it. So we will need to find a replacement very soon. None of them are encumbered, because they're not carrying very much. I think we're ready. Time to dive on in. And actually, what we're going to do is I'm going to do that next episode. Bit of a cliffhanger here. We're going to head into our first real battle. And we don't know exactly what to expect, but something obviously has destroyed our water pipeline and we're going to need to get that repaired. So I've been BLXed. This has been UFO Afterlight. Make sure to drop a like if you do indeed actually enjoy the content. It helps a growing channel, and in the first episode of a new series, it will hopefully let me bump up those search rankings a little bit. Anyway, take care, and I'll see you next time as we descend into battle.